Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are, and welcome back to Storytime with me. It's greatly appreciated that you are here, and it's also greatly appreciated if you hit that like button and perhaps subscribe to the channel if you find this content worthwhile, useful, interesting even, or just sickening. Because today's one, as you can see behind me, BTK. Now, I do know BTK was towards the end of Mindhunter, the series on Netflix. Was towards the end of the first and only season. What a pity! They should do another series of that. I know it's not. I have done a search on it to see if they would do another series, but I don't think so. I don't think it's ever going to happen. The writer's not the same, and all sorts of things. But whatever. If you're new to the channel, this is a cold read. It's compiled by Selwyn Beck, as you can see behind me, aka Silver Shadow. Right, so Dennis Lynn Rader, the BTK Strangler. As I say, I do know, I have seen documentaries on him, but I have not read what Selwyn has put together. So it's going to be interesting to see if we're on the same sort of page here or not. I laugh because it's a nervous laugh, really, because this guy was twisted and he had been going for an awfully long time evading capture. If I wasn't, or was that the Green River Killer? Oh, God, I don't know. There's too many of these people out there. Anyway, here we go. Dennis Lynn Rader, BTK Strangler. Life and background. Rader was born on March 9, 1945 to Dorothea May Rader, near Cook, and William Elvin Rader, one of 4 sons. Sources give Rader's place of birth as either Columbus, Kansas, or Pittsburgh, Kansas. He grew up in Wichita. Both parents worked long hours and paid little attention to their children at home. Here we go. Rader later described feeling ignored by his mother in particular and resenting her for it. Parenting is so hard. It is not easy. It really is not easy. From a young age, Rader harbored sadistic sexual fantasies about torturing trapped and helpless women. He also exhibited zoo sadism by torturing, killing, and hanging small animals. Isn't that where it usually starts? Oh, it does, isn't it? You sort of like progress, right? So it's like start with the animals and so on. Rader acted out sexual fetishes for voyeurism, autoerotic asphyxiation, and cross-dressing. He often spied on female neighbors while dressed in women's clothing, including women's underwear that he had stolen, and masturbated with ropes or other bindings around his arms and neck. Yeah, that I saw in Mindhunter. That I was like, I had no idea he did that. Very graphic. That series is brilliant. Years later, during his cooling off periods between murders, Rader would take pictures of himself wearing women's clothes and a female mask while bound. He later admitted that he was pretending to be his victims as part of a sexual fantasy. However, Rader kept his sexual proclivities well hidden, and he was widely regarded in his community as normal, polite, and well-mannered. They are all like that. They're all like, I mean, look at him. He looks like the dude next door, man. Damn. After graduating from Wichita Heights High School, Rader attended Kansas Wesleyan University, but received mediocre grades and dropped out after 1 year. He served in the United States Air Force from 1966 to 1970. On discharge, he moved to Park City, a suburb of Wichita, where he worked in the meat department of an IGA supermarket where his mother was a bookkeeper, a meat department. Yeah, that's perfect for a serial killer. Rader married Paula Dietz on May 22, or Dietz, on May 22nd, 1971. They had 2 children, Kerry and Brian. He attended Butler County Community College in El Dorado, earning an associate degree in electronics in 1973. Wait, wasn't this guy a security dude an install of security um, for ADT. Let's go and have a look. No, I don't have any pictures of him wearing ADT. No. That was on the Netflix, the Mindhunter series. You saw him with the ADT thing on badge on his jacket. He then enrolled in Wichita State University and graduated in 1979 with a Bachelor of Science degree majoring in Administration of Justice. Oh. Rader initially worked as an assembler for the Coleman Company, an outdoor supply company. A Coleman? Yeah, I've got a Coleman cooler box. Okay. He then worked at the Wichita-based Office of ADT Security Services from 1974 to 1988, where he installed security alarms as part of his job, in many cases for homeowners concerned about the BTK killings. Hiding in plain sight, man. Damn. Rader was a census field operations supervisor for the Wichita area in 1989, before the 1990 federal census. Why is that important? Federal census. Okay, maybe we'll find out. In May 1991, Rader became a dog catcher and compliance officer in Park City. He abused animals, right? I mean, this must be right up his alley. In this position, neighbors recalled him as being sometimes overzealous and extremely strict, as well as taking special pleasure in bullying and harassing single women. Right. One neighbor complained that Rader killed her dog for no reason. Ooh. Okay. No, serial killers. Let's start with the animals. Rader was a member of the Christ Lutheran Church in Wichita and had been elected president of the church council. He was also a Cub Scout leader. I mean, this guy is like as normal could be, right? Wow. On July 26, 2005, after Rader's arrest, his wife was granted an emergency divorce, waiving the normal waiting period. I'm not bloody surprised. Jeez. In an interview with ABC News in 2019, Rader's daughter Kerry is still alive. Okay. Rader's daughter Kerry said she still writes to her father and has now forgiven him, but still struggles to reconcile him with the BTK killers, stating her childhood seemed normal and they were a normal American family. Hell. Yeah. I mean, what is I saying about the previous one that I did, the South African dude, Moses Sitole, the ABC killer? Yeah, he had a messed up childhood. And that's what I was saying. It's like, what is the trigger? I mean, the fact that this guy, Rader, became a serial killer is because, well, I mean, partly to blame. His parents were very busy and never around much, and particularly didn't like his mother. So, shit. Right, case history. The murders. On January 15, 1974, 4 members of the Otero family were murdered in Wichita, Kansas. The victims were Joseph Otero, age 38, Julie Otero, age 33, Joseph Otero Jr., age 9, and Josephine Otero, age 11. You all know I don't like when the kids get involved. Their bodies were discovered by the family's 3 older children, Charlie, Danny, and Carmen, who had been at school at the time of the killings. After his 2005 arrest, Rader confessed to killing the Otero family. Rader wrote a letter that had been stashed inside an engineering book in the Wichita Public Library in October 1974, which described in detail the killing of the Otero family in January of that year. Jesus, if only somebody had gotten that. But then again, who's going to go to the library and pick up an engineering book, right? Between the spring of 1974 and winter of 1977, Rader killed 3 more. See, this dude is slow going, man. Sort of like just bubbling under the radar kind of thing. And there were like off periods where he like abstained. So Rader killed 3 more women between 1974 and 1977. Catherine Bright, April 4, 1974. Shirley Vian Relford, March 17, 1977. And Nancy Fox, December 8, 1977. That is so, like, spread out, isn't it? it's no wonder that he's was going for quite a while. Because I know he went on for quite a while. I know this dude, like, he was out there a lot of the time. Be interesting to find out why. Anyway, in early 1978, he sent another letter to television station KAKE in Wichita, claiming responsibility for the murders of the Oteros, Bright, Vian Relford, and Fox. He suggested many possible names for himself, including the one that stuck, BTK. He demanded media attention in the second letter, and it was finally announced that Wichita did indeed have a serial killer at large. A poem was enclosed titled "O Death to Nancy," a parody of the lyrics to the American folk song "O Death." In the letter, he claimed to be driven to kill by Factor X, which he characterized as a supernatural element that also motivated Jack the Ripper, the son of Sam, and the Hillside Strangler murders. So, narcissistic, normal upbringing, narcissistic, twisted, animal killing POS. He also intended to kill others, such as Anna Williams, who in 1979, aged 63, escaped death by returning home much later than expected. Rader explained during his confession that he became obsessed with Williams and was absolutely livid when she evaded him. He spent hours waiting at her home, but became impatient and left when she did not return home from visiting friends. Talk about dodging a bullet, man. Maureen Hedge, age 53, was found on May 5th, 1985 at East 53rd Street North between North Webb Road and North Greenwich Road in Wichita. Rader killed her on April 27 and took her dead body to his church, the Christ Lutheran Church, where he was the president of the church council. There, he photographed her body in various bondage positions. Flippin' heck. Rader had previously stored black plastic sheets and other materials at the church in preparation for the murder, and then later dumped the body in a remote ditch. He called his plan Project Cookie. Holy crap. What is wrong with this dude? What is wrong with these people, man? In 1988, after the murders of 3 members of the Fager family in Wichita, a letter was received from someone claiming to be the BTK killer, in which the author of the letter denied being the perpetrator of the Fager murders. The author credited the killer with having done admirable work. It was not proven until 2005 that this letter was, in fact, written by Rader. He is not considered by police to have committed the crime. Okay. 2 women Rader stalked in the 1980s, and one whom he stalked in the mid-1990s filed restraining orders against him. One of them also changed her address to avoid him. That's interesting. So why wasn't this sort of like picked up by the police then? And sort of like, kept an eye on him. But then again, the police are probably stretched thin. They've probably got so much to do. His final victim, Dolores E. Davis, was found on February 1, 1991 at West 117th Street North and North Meridian Street in Park City. Rader had killed her on January the 19th. Cold case. By 2004, the investigation of the BTK killer was considered a cold case. Then, Rader initiated a series of 11 communications to the local media. This activity led directly to his arrest in February 2005. Now just think about it. If he wasn't a narcissistic POS, right, he could have led a normal life and literally gotten away with it. If he just like controlled himself, he could have gotten away with it. What is it with the serial killers that just want that notoriety? I guess a normal person would say, well, let's just stop it at silly. And the serial killer go, yeah, I'll stop, but I might send a note or a poem or, oh God. What is the intelligence of serial killers? Have they done tests on serial killers for the, not an aptitude test, but like, what their intelligence is, their IQ. I wonder what Rader's was. Was he a dumbass? Or was he like really clever or just average? If you know, drop a comment below, let me know. I love engaging with you all, by the way, so please do drop a message. I'm lonely, I need your love. Okay, in March 2004, the Wichita Eagle received a letter from someone using the name Bill Thomas Kilman. The author of the letter claimed that he had murdered Vicky Wergirl, is that Wergirl? On September 16, 1986, and enclosed photographs of the crime scene and a photocopy of a driver's license, which had been stolen at the time of the crime. Before this, it had not been definitively established that Wergel was killed by BTK. DNA collected from under Wergel's fingernails provided police with previously unknown evidence. Thank fuck for DNA. They then began DNA testing hundreds of men in an effort to find their serial killer, although more than 1,300 DNA samples were taken and later destroyed by court order. Wait, what? Destroyed by court? Why? So they obviously took... Wait, were these samples tested? Against their databases? What the flippin' heck? This is the thing with the law in America. It's very different, isn't it? It's very strange per state, right? I mean, I don't live in the States, obviously, but I've heard some weird laws. So wait now. More than 1,300 DNA samples were taken and later destroyed. So did they test this DNA? Or was this how he escaped? Undetected again? Interesting. In May 2004, television station KAKE in Wichita received a letter with chapter headings for the BTK story, fake IDs, and a word puzzle. On June 9, a package was found taped to a stop sign at the corner of First and Kansas roads in Wichita. It had graphic descriptions of the Otero murders and a sketch labeled "The Sexual Thrill is My Bill." Also enclosed was a chapter list for a proposed book titled The BTK Story, which mimicked a story written in 1999 by court TV crime writer David Lahore. Chapter 1 was titled A Serial Killer is Born. In July, a package dropped into the return slot at a public library contained more bizarre material. This guy is just crying out for attention. Again, you would have thought that somebody would say, like, I've gotten away with it, I've done my thing. Is it just this is the thing though with serial killers, is it just they can't control themselves? Again, in the comments below, let me know, because I mean, it's crazy. You would have thought that, the murders, that's it, done and dusted. No more, After his capture, Rader admitted in his interrogation that he had been planning to kill again, and he had set a date, October 2004, and was stalking his intended victim. Jeez. So, yeah, I mean, it's premeditated, so whatever. In October 2004, a manila envelope was dropped into a UPS box in Wichita. It had many cards with images of terror and bondage of children pasted on them. A poem threatening the life of lead investigator Lieutenant Ken Lendewar, and a false autobiography with many details about Rader's life. These details were later released to the public. Ooh, I'd love to read them. In December 2004, Wichita police received another package from the BTK killer. This time, the package was found in Wichita's Murdoch Park. It had the driver's license of Nancy Fox, which was noted as stolen from the crime scene, as well as a doll that was symbolically bound at the hands and feet and had a plastic bag tied over its head. In January 2005, Rader attempted to leave a cereal box in the bed of a pickup truck at a Home Depot in Wichita, but the box was discarded by the truck's owner. It was later retrieved from the trash after Rader asked what had become of it in a later message. Surveillance tape of the parking lot from the date revealed a distant figure driving a black Jeep Cherokee, leaving the box in the pickup. What a moron. Okay, so this guy's not clever. What does that say about the police, though? In February 2005, more postcards were sent to KAKE, and another cereal box left at a rural location was found to contain another bound doll. Why is this guy using cereal boxes, man? Fingerprints much? In his letters to police, Rader asked if his writings, if put on a floppy disk, could be traced or not. This is the moron part, right? This guy, mentally, did they do tests on him? Look at him. Did they do tests on him to see if mentally if he's like losing it or something? I mean, come on. The police answered his question in a newspaper ad posted in the Wichita Eagle, saying it would be safe to use the disc. I mean, hook, line, and bloody sinker. On February 16, 2005, Rader sent a purple 1.44 megabyte Memorex floppy disk to Fox affiliate KSAS TV in Wichita. What a dick. Also enclosed were a letter, a gold-colored necklace with a large medallion, and a photocopy of the cover of Rules of Prey, a 1989 novel by John Sanford about a serial killer. I mean, how stupid can you get? Police found metadata embedded in a deleted Microsoft Word document that was, unknown to Rader, still stored on the floppy disk. The metadata, maybe he wanted to be caught. Maybe that's why he was probably just like, I'm done with this. I can't walk into a police station and give myself up. I've got to do it this way. Why? The metadata contained the words Christ Lutheran Church, and the document was marked as last modified by Dennis. An internet search determined that a Dennis Rader was president of the church council. When investigators drove by Rader's house, a black Jeep Cherokee, the type of vehicle seen in the Home Depot surveillance footage, was parked outside. This was strong circumstantial evidence against Rader, but they needed more direct evidence to detain him. Police obtained a warrant to test a pap smear taken from Rader's daughter at the Kansas State University Medical Clinic. DNA tests showed a familial match between the pap smear and the sample from Wergel's fingernails. This indicated that the killer was closely related to Rader's daughter, and combined with the other evidence was enough for police to arrest Rader. Good. DNA for the win, man. All right. The arrest. Rader was arrested while driving near his home in Park City shortly after noon on February 25th, 2005. An officer asked, "Mr. Rader, do you know why you're going downtown?" Rader replied, "Oh, I have suspicions. Why?" Wichita Police, the Kansas Bureau of the Investigation, the FBI, and ATF agents searched Rader's home and vehicle, seizing evidence including computer equipment, a pair of black pantyhose retrieved from a shed, and a cylindrical container. The church he attended, his office at City Hall, and the main branch of the Park City Library were also searched. At a press conference the next morning, Wichita Police Chief Norman Williams announced the bottom line: BTK is arrested. Go police. Nice. Took him long enough. And Wergel's fingernails, man, that she obviously scratched the crap out of him. Good. Okay. Legal proceedings. On February 28, 2005, Rader was charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder. Soon after his arrest, the Associated Press cited an anonymous source alleging that Rader had confessed to other murders in addition to those with which he had been connected. However, the Sedgwick County District Attorney denied the story, yet refused to say whether Rader had made any confessions or if investigators were looking into Rader's possible involvement in more unsolved killings. On March 5, news sources claimed to have verified by multiple sources that Rader had confessed to the 10 murders he was charged with, but no other ones. On March 1, Rader's bail was set at $10 million. Yeah, he ain't getting out. 10 million? Yeah, I'm not bloody surprised. Just don't set a bail. That's it. You're not a chance. And a public defender was appointed to represent him. God, I'd hate to have been that guy. I know it's a job and these guys get paid to do this sort of thing, but god damn. On May 3, the judge entered not guilty pleas on Rader's behalf, as Rader did not speak at his arraignment. However, on June 27th, the scheduled trial date, Rader changed his plea to guilty. He described the murders in detail and made no apologies. At Rader's August 18 sentencing, victims' families made statements, after which Rader apologized in a rambling 30-minute monologue that the prosecutor likened to an Academy Awards acceptance speech. His statement has been described as an example of an often observed phenomena among psychopaths, their inability to understand the emotional content of language. Yeah. There must be something missing in that cranium, in that little grey matter, man. They don't understand the words, the emotional content of language, yeah. He was sentenced to 10 consecutive life sentences with a minimum of 175 years. Kansas had no death penalty at the time of the murders. So he must be still alive because his daughter's writing to him. That was back in 2019. On August 19, he was moved to the El Dorado Correctional Facility. Rader talked about innocuous topics such as the weather during the 40-minute drive to El Dorado, but began to cry when the victims' family statements from the court proceedings came on the radio. Yeah, I wonder if that's just for show. He is now in solitary confinement for his protection, with 1 hour of exercise per day and showers 3 times per week. This will likely continue indefinitely. So yeah, obviously they're not going to release him to Gen Pop because rapists, they themselves, yeah. Beginning in 2006, he was allowed access to television. I know he wasn't a rapist. Was he a rapist? He was a murderer. Beginning in 2006, he was allowed access to television and radio, to read magazines and other privileges for good behavior. Fuck that. Screw that, man. This dude has taken life. Messed up countless families and generations. Screw that. No. In a dark hole with fuck all. God damn it, man. That annoys me more than anything else. Jeez. Further investigations. Following Rader's arrest, police in Wichita, Park City, and several surrounding cities looked into unsolved cases with the cooperation of the state police and the FBI. They particularly focused on cases after 1994, when the death penalty was reinstated in Kansas. Yeah, they probably want to get him into that death penalty. Police in surrounding states such as Nebraska, Missouri, Colorado, Oklahoma, and Texas also investigated cold cases that fit Rader's pattern to some extent. The FBI and local jurisdictions at Rader's former duty stations checked into unsolved cases during Rader's time in the service. After exhaustive investigations, none of these agencies discovered any further murders attributable to Rader, confirming early suspicions that Rader would have taken credit for any additional murders that he had committed. The 10 known murders are now believed to be the only murders for which Rader is actually responsible, although Wichita police are fairly certain that Rader stalked and researched a number of other potential victims. This includes one person who was saved when Rader called off his planned attack upon his arrival near the target's home due to the presence of construction and road crews nearby. Rader stated in his police interview that there are a lot of lucky people, meaning that he had thought about and developed various levels of murder plans for other victims. Jeez, this is the thing, right? So if he was planning to do more murders, why go to the trouble of really putting yourself in the limelight and out there? It's just that narcissistic mindset. I must be in the news and it must be all about me and all that sort of crap. But yet you're planning different... Dude's lost, man. Mental. Thus, the twisted reign of terror orchestrated by Dennis Lynn Rader remains etched in the darkest corners of our collective consciousness. So, it's only 10. Jeez, bloody hell. It's 10 murders. 10. I thought he did a hell of a lot more, considering the time period that he was out and about. I wonder if there's not more. If you have more information about if there were more than just 10, then let me know in the comments below. As is always the case, Selwyn has asked me to read the important notice, the disclaimer. The following article incorporates information from Wikipedia, the community-driven encyclopedia. We acknowledge and appreciate the contributions of the Wikipedia community in compiling and sharing knowledge. The specific information referenced in this article is sourced from the Wikipedia article titled Dennis Rader, which can be accessed via the link below in the description. Please note that the Wikipedia articles are subject to editing and updates. The information was retrieved on the 1st of the 6th, 2023. While we have taken care to ensure accuracy, it is always advisable to cross-reference information with multiple reliable sources. Silver Shadow. 1st of June 2023. Yeah. That was a good one, Selwyn. Fantastic compiling that information, putting it all together for me to read out and narrate for you guys. If you enjoy absorbing this sort of content, then please let us know in the comments below. And I love engaging with you all. It means a lot. And if you are a non-subscriber of this channel and like this content or whatever, intrigued by it or whatever, please do consider hitting like and subscribing, because it's a free way to show support and it's greatly appreciated. That is the BTK killer, the Strangler. Damn it. This is the one thing. I mean, we do this sort of thing very differently. We don't go into great detail about the victims because we respect, the victims' families, those that have been left behind, and so on. It's just ghastly and terrible. But I highly recommend you get to, if you want more information, then by all means, please get to the wikipedia.org and go support them. Go drop them a donation and stuff like that. I've done that before. Without this sort of stuff, we can't do this. So anyway, thank you so much to everybody for being here. It's greatly appreciated. You all have a fantastic day and be safe.